Don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world famous two-time champs and feel the power. It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I knew it. I knew it. When I saw the alert, I knew it. I said, they got him. They got him. He got. I said, they done found the smoking gun on Sherrone Moore. I just knew it because it was The Athletic. It was the New York Times. I said, oh, they don't spend about a week looking for the dirt. I said, I know they got him. They got the smoking gun. This is going to put brother Shamar in the grave. I just knew it. I went and I read the article. All 1,000 words on it. I read the article. And look, here's the title of the article. Because I was for sure. I said, oh, they got brother Sherrone. They got brother Sherrone. It says, inside Sherrone Moore's downfall. Instagram messages, emotional outburst, and Michigan's breaking point. It wasn't even just one person that did the story. It was the Athletic college football staff. Bruce Feldman, Austin Meek, Katie Strang. They had everybody on this. I said, for sure, they must got Sherrone on some wild stuff. This is it. I don't know how. I'm 100% sure he's not going to be able to come back from this. And then I started reading the article. And I swear to God, the second paragraph in this article, the one that was going to take Sherrone Moore down, this was the second paragraph. They had talked to all these women, right? So I'm thinking it's like Deshaun Watson or oh boy, Justin Tucker, maybe Tyreek Hill. I'm thinking it's going to be something explosive. And I read the second paragraph, and it says, one woman says she received a hand-waving emoji a few hours before the Michigan game kicked off against Purdue. I said, what? I said, is that the second paragraph? Normally you start off strong, whatever you got, you put your biggest, bullets first. I read it again. I said, one woman says she received a hand-waving emoji from Moore a few hours before Michigan kicked off against Purdue. I'm like, that's it? That's the smoking gun? And he sent the hand-waving emoji a few hours before the game? I said, there must be more. Maybe they just warm it up. You know how, a movie, they don't start with all the action up front. I thought maybe there was more to it. So I go down a little bit longer, and it says, the woman, did not respond after Sherrone had DM'd her. But 2 days later, he left a fire emoji on a story she posted of herself on the Stairmaster at the gym. Okay. I'm still waiting on where's the smoking gun here? Where is the issue? So he DM'd her before the game. He DM'd her after he was done with the game. He DM'd her to say she was fired on the Stairmaster. I'm still waiting. Say, okay, well, I mean, obviously they're just warming up. So, I go down a little bit further, and it says The Athletic spoke to 20 people, staff members, players, school officials, the women he interacted with on social media. You can guess one of the women who was giving these quotes, by the way. So I said, okay, spoke to a lot of people. Maybe there's some new information, here. Then one of the officials says, well, he wasn't sexually harassing anybody. He was just being stupid. So, okay, all right. Okay. So I said, well, there has to be more. So I'm still reading. It says 4 to 5 women who spoke to The Athletic provided screenshots or text messages from Moore. The women said Moore reached out on Instagram via DM by liking a story they posted on social media. Okay. Said according to a number of the screenshots shared with The Athletic, Moore would seemingly ask innocuous questions or send emojis, the fire symbol, the clapping hands, the wave, in response to stories posted, in an attempt to engage the women in conversation. How did we start following each other? Moore wrote, and she reminded him that he followed her first. Okay, I'm still like, I'm waiting. Well, there has to be a smoking gun. It has to be more than this. It has to be more. I'm just waiting on it. I'm like, it has to be more. And then I get it. Oh, okay. Here's a fly out story. Okay, now we're getting into something here. Here's a fly out story. Since one woman who he shared mutual connections with provided messages, the two exchanged after he asked her if he could fly her out. Come see her. The woman didn't say no. The woman didn't say she was offended. The woman wasn't upset about it. The woman asked him if she was to come, would she have to stay up in the hotel the entire time, or could they go out in public? And Sherrone was like, well, we just had to see. I get you a driver. We're going into the details later. And that was it. She wasn't offended that he asked her to fly out. She just wanted to make sure his wife didn't whoop her ass. Where is the smoking gun here? Oh, and as far as his affair with the assistant, so okay, well, we know a lot about that. We know a lot about the assistant and whatnot. But everybody knew. There were rumors about the relationship of staff who worked for the team for 3 years. Nothing was set in stone, but oh yeah, they have a relationship. Yeah, I mean, they all knew. That's the end of the story. That's it. No smoking gun. Nothing we didn't already knew. Sherrone is a 30-year-old man that's on Instagram a lot and likes to like the pictures and wants to fly out women that have an affair on his wife. Oh my God, this has never happened in the history of college sports ever. Oh, he's emotional. He cries a lot. Oh, we saw that on national television. We saw that on national TV. There's no smoking gun. Where's the smoking gun? But let me tell you something, Brother Shamar. You know how you always say you should not see, I don't see color. I don't see color. I have a white wife. My children are biracial. I do not see color. Well, let me tell you why you should see color. Because Lane Kiffin can do hot yoga with cheerleaders and they get an applaud. You send a fire emoji to some Instagram models and the headlines are Sherrone Moore, creepy Instagram message revealed by the woman he was pursuing. 5 women claim Moore made unwanted advances. Nowhere in the story does it say that the advances were unwarranted. You can read the story yourself. The first paragraph says said they had strange exchanges. Unwanted, strange. Just like any other random dude that goes into their DMs. No smoking gun. But you're black. So they're looking to continue to pile on top of you. When the lawyer says that you're violent and she's terrified of you, so terrified of you that she left the door unlocked. So terrified of you she left the door unlocked so you can just walk right in. So terrified of you that the DA, who I'm sure was like, this is a big case, I'm gonna hit him with every charge possible, was like, we don't really got nothing. He was really just threatening to kill himself because he's emotional with butter knives. So we can only charge him with this. But this is how they want to paint the picture of you, Brother Shamar. That's why you got to see color. That's why you got to see color, Brother Shamar. Sherrone. That's why you got to see the color. Because they paint a picture. Lane Kiffin can have his hands out with the ladies and stuff. He got secret Snapchat accounts saying all type of wild stuff. That wasn't in. He got $10 million. Got promoted. Got a better job. The Kiffin files got him a better job. And I know you say, well, Lane isn't married. Yeah, Lane had some scandals before. Lane, also, Sherrone Moore is 39 years old. Lane Kiffin is 50. Okay. With the cheerleaders, the young co-eds. Ain't no problem. There ain't no problem. But see, you don't see color. And that's why you always got to see color in certain things. You see now, made a big mistake, and they baited you into it. And I understand you get baited into stuff. You have to live and learn. You got baited into it. They did not handle your fire in the right way to protect you. They did it in a certain way to hope that you crashed out, which is exactly what you did. You fell right into their hands. They reached out to 20 people. None of them was smoking gun. Don't matter. Gonna put it out anyway. They don't want you to coach anymore. Here's the thing about society. They don't like, if black people make a mistake, they don't want them to get back up. This is another black person they can keep down. If they can. Why? They don't want you taking their jobs. They don't want you getting second chances, third chances, fourth chances, fifth chances. When you're of no value to them anymore, they will try to take you out. Now, he has to take accountability for the things that he's done. Cheating on his wife. They got 3 kids. That's an awful thing to do. But we have to parse out the real from the fake. And not act like somebody put the fire emoji on someone on the Stairmaster is some sort of criminal offense. It's something unusual that is happening in the world for married or unmarried men. I mean, those are just the facts. Those are facts, not fiction. Brother Sherrone, I hope he understands now. Everybody's in it for themselves. No one has done any in-depth investigation on the woman he was having an affair with. Nobody says it wasn't consensual. No one says it was anything nefarious going on. They were in a relationship. Why has nobody done an investigating on that? How did this even happen? Who approached who? She knew he was married when they got naked. Why has nobody talked to 20 people about her? Why nobody checked her social media pages? How many affairs was she having? Was she sleeping with anybody else? Nobody's doing any of that because they got the brother. That's why you always got to see color, my friend. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that great stuff. How you doing, Chris? Jake, he didn't. He did cash in. Jake Paul is a business man, and he's a influencer, one of the originals. He knows how to generate interest. He knows how to, the whole thing with the broken jaw, he goes to the, he knows how to create content. You know, he knows how to put on a show. He knows how to put on a show. And that's why he makes a lot of money. And he realized that boxing, just the way his brother realized wrestling, was a way to transition and continue to make money off of content. I don't like them in particular, but they're smart in that regard. And I know some people with MVP that I do like. And the promotional people, they're handling that stuff well. They're handling that stuff well. And they're putting on a lot of the young lady boxers. I like that. You know, he's the face, and sometimes you got to be the villain. You know, the villain makes more money than the hero in these influencer streets. You almost have to be disliked. You have to be Aiden Ross. You have to be Andrew Tate. Those are the ones that make the most money. My guy, Michigan's Hershey. Hey, man, listen. I'm not saying anything, but all I'm saying is, where's that investigation? Because it does take two to tango. Oh, and by the way, Sherrone DM'd all these ladies. He never actually flew any of them out. He never actually met any of these women. He just is online talking shit. He's 39 years old. It's not Nick Saban. Now, great, he still shouldn't have did it because he's married with 3 kids. But he's 39 years old. Like I said, Lane Kiffin is 50, doing the same thing, and nobody cares. Where's the investigation on her? I find it very interesting. Very, very interesting is that she had a lawyer before she came forward. She didn't come forward out of like good graces. She didn't break up because something was wrong in a relationship. She had a lawyer beforehand. The walls were closing in, and she knew to get an attorney. Okay? I'm just saying, where's that investigation? The investigation I've done, some of the stories I've written, says she's a little suspect. I'm just going to be honest with you. And it goes both ways. You can't put 100% on Sherrone Moore. Because when you're having a relationship for 2 years, that's different than a one-night stand, or you on the road one night and you're like, I can't believe I did this. Yeah, a 2-year relationship where you guys are going out to eat, you're going to events together. Come on now. Come on now. She's not innocent in all this. Jim says, as a former college football player, I cannot believe how many missed calls there are. And I cannot believe how many calls there were nothing to explain that to me. Like, well, the thing about the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s is they just didn't show no replays. So you had no choice. It's terrible refereeing all over, though. Honestly, all over. She's hiding under the whistleblower cop-out. Oh, yeah. That's the reason she got a job. Listen, there's a rule. Did you know that there's a rule at Michigan, and this is the same kind of rule that old boy is using at Ohio. Oh, yeah, Ohio, not Ohio State, Ohio, where if the subordinate is the pursuer, all you got to do is just fill out some paperwork. Same paperwork that they had when I was at the call center, when the managers were screwing all of the employees. Sometimes they filled the paperwork out, sometimes they didn't. What if she pursued him and he just didn't fill out the paperwork? He wasn't the coach, the head coach, when they got together. She wasn't also his executive assistant when they got together. So what's the difference between her and Bill Belichick? She works for North Carolina. And she has all access. So what's the difference between Sherrone Moore and so if Jordan Hudson breaks up with Bill Belichick, are they gonna fire him in North Carolina? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. I don't know if Mike could have. Mike is old and sick. Okay, I mean, yeah, Mike did do it for the money. I know Anthony Joshua could have ended it if they would have had a regulation ring and he actually was aggressive in the first 4 rounds pretty quickly. It only took 2-3 punches to knock him out. You know, the thing about boxing is if you start late, there's nothing that you can do to replicate the cardio. And Jake has no cardio after 4 rounds. And that's so all you gotta do is just wait him out. We want Canelo next. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get him. They hate him in Cleveland. He says he's from Puerto Rico now. Like, you're from Cleveland, like the Miz. What the hell are you talking about? You're from Puerto Rico. Just because you live in Puerto Rico, I mean, I like just denouncing Ohio like that. Oh, so what I was getting ready to get to, DK Metcalf was right in punching old boy in the face. And he should have punched him and should have pulled him down and whooped his ass on the sideline until they pulled him off of him. And I've said this before many times. We should normalize fans getting their ass beat. We should normalize it. We should normalize beating people up in the streets. We should normalize. Somebody says something to you crazy, especially like online or in the stands. I always put them in a room. Put it in a room. I always say that if a fan says something crazy to an athlete, take him out. You don't kick him out. Take him out the seat. When the game is over, put them in a room together for 5 minutes. Let them talk it out. That whatever happens in those 5 minutes, everybody walks, especially men. We walk away as men. Because as men, what we say out of our mouth, we have to back up. We can't be men talking crazy with no consequences. That's just not how I was raised. I'm not no tough guy. I'm no thug or nothing like that. But I grew up in an area where if you said something to somebody, you had to be ready. You had to be ready. You call somebody a B word, you talk about somebody's mama, and it wasn't in a joking way, like joking around and stuff. You had to be ready. You had to be ready with those hands. And apparently, this guy's been stalking DK Metcalf. He tried to do it the right way. Went to security before, said, listen, man, this guy's out of control. Security don't do shit. And he said, I'm just going to take matters into my own hand. And I wish he would have broke his fucking jaw. I'll be honest with you. I do. Because I'm tired of, especially white people, just saying crazy stuff for no reason. They get online, they say crazy stuff. They just always are out here just saying crazy stuff all the time. All the time. Oh, my baby's crying. Oh, my baby's crying. Can you hear my baby? That's my little one. That's my little one. So people just get out of here and they just say wild stuff all the time. All the time. And they should get beat up for it. Now, listen, I'm all for trash talk. You say I suck. You can call me by my government name. You can boo. You can do all that stuff. You say something about my mother, we got to fight. You call me the N-word, we got to fight. That's just the way it is. And you should be willing. If you're willing to say that with your chest, to call somebody's mother out of their name, then you should be willing to fight. You have to be willing to fight. If you call somebody's mother, their father, the grandmother, the girl, their children, the wife, the side chick, even the side chick, you call them a side chick something, we gotta fight. You understand? So that's what DK Metcalf, I hope he doesn't get fined. I hope he doesn't get suspended. If anything, and I'm glad the guy tried to lie and gave his real name. Because now there should be some consequences. Ryan Kennedy. Yeah, we know your name now. Ryan Kennedy. Put it out there for Google. Ryan Kennedy. Because if we get some verification on if what you said is true, then we all should whoop your ass. We should all be looking for it. And actually, other Lions fans should whoop his ass too. Because do you want that type of reputation on you? I had to tell Ohio State fans all the time, chill. Like we're in a rivalry and all that stuff, but these are still kids. They're still young adults. They're still men. There's certain things you don't say because I know you wouldn't say it in person. I had to check somebody today. Coward, traitor, effing. You ain't gonna say all that. You white man ain't gonna say all that to no 6'4", 225 ripped black athlete. You ain't gonna say that. You ain't gonna say that to them. So you should get popped. I'm upset he missed. I wish he would have connected and broke his jaw like Jake Paul. I wish old boy was drinking out of a sippy cup today. I wish. Now my dog is barking, but that's okay. That's what I wish happened. They get too crazy. They're too comfortable in saying whatever they want to say to people. And that's because of Trump. That's the Trump effect of what's going on. You see that Nicki Minaj and not poor Charlie Kirk. I mean, nobody deserves to get shot in the neck. But imagine if you Charlie Kirk, right? You're chilling either upstairs or downstairs, and not me for the side. And you watching your wife hugging up on other men, bringing Nicki Minaj to random places. They doing fireworks and stuff. Talking about how much they love JD Vance and Trump. That was your sacrifice. That's why people talk crazy, because of Trump. Hey, Trump talk crazy, so they can talk crazy. But see, that's not the case. You're not the president of the United States. We can put hands on you. Your hands could come. And that's why all them Charlie Kirks, they're a little bit worried now. You're not the president of the United States. They even, put hands on you. You need to be careful. You need to understand that what can happen. Yeah, you can't be doing all that. They're out of the fans are out of control. And listen, I go to games. I hear what they say. It's out of pocket. And sometimes you got to punch it, somebody got to punch somebody in the face to get him to understand. And I could tell by his reaction, that's all he wanted. When he punched him, he did this. His whole life is dedicated to getting an athlete to react to him. That's the trolls' entire life. Not their family, not their friends, not their girl, not the job. Their entire life aspect is getting someone famous to react to them, because there's no other way for them to get attention in this world. And that's a pathetic way to live. And I will leave you with that as I head out and do some Christmas shopping. You guys have a blessed day. The Headline King, Robert Littal.